So thank you very much, Poonam, and thank you everyone. As I was just saying over tea, ये जो है हमारा चार स्टेट्स का रिपोर्ट है, ओडिशा, वेस्ट बंगाल, झारखंड एंड उत्तर प्रदेश. और मैं सबसे पहले तो रिपोर्ट की फाइंडिंग्स आपके सामने रखूंगी. डॉक्टर धावन, यू ओके विथ हिंदी? गुड. द स्लाइड्स आर इन इंग्लिश. लेकिन मैं बस ये एक चीज़ कहना चाहती हूँ कि जो इसके अंत में जो विश्लेषण हैं और जो रिकमेंडेशंस हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा हमारे कल दिन भर के और शाम तक देर तक जो साथियों के बीच जो चर्चाएं हुई हैं उससे बहुत ज़्यादा enriched and informed हैं. So actually the recommendations are not only based on this report, because this report inside it has a set of exhaustive recommendations, but the recommendations are based on all the discussions with friends here who are from different national groups like the Jan Swasth Abhiyan, the Common Health Network, the Health Watch Forum Uttar Pradesh, and many other groups, including the National Alliance for Maternal Health and Human Rights. So just with that caveat, I will move ahead. सबसे पहले I just want to go over why we did this, because यहाँ सभी साथियों ने सुना है कल, but just for the purpose of this panel. First of all, this was not a population-based study. यानी कि हमने ऐसा नहीं कि हमने कुछ 50,000 की population ले ली और उसमें से छाना कि कितनी औरतों की pregnancy थी, कितने लोग की death हुई. It was not done like that. This was a purposive sample, and the method of gathering information was based on informants like ASHA workers, panchayats, media, and women's organizations. And a very purposive site selection looking at marginalized populations like tribal women, Dalit women, Muslim women, and women from extremely poor social categories. And the people who worked on this are actually civil society organizations. I will just request for 1 second those who were part of this study to just stand up for 1 minute. Please. खड़े हो जाओ 1 मिनट के लिए. Okay. So yeah. So these are the friends who were part of this study, and they have all worked, and they are all working for mostly more than a decade in that area. So they all have very deep roots with the communities in those districts and very strong relationships with the government in those areas. The second thing is why we did this. जबकि सरकार already MDR का काम खुद करती है, हमने क्यों इस काम को लिया as civil society? What is the value addition? तो इसमें ये था कि जो families perspective है, अक्सर वो clinical audit में नहीं हो पाता है, because it's very trained and very senior people in the government who do that kind of clinical audit. तो परिवार का क्या पूरा जर्नी रहा, उनके क्या संघर्ष रहे, उनकी क्या तकलीफें रहीं, ये जो है ये निकल नहीं पाता है अक्सर. तो a civil society process of documentation, we thought, in the community would be less threatening and perhaps bring out some of the nuances of their experiences. थर्ड जो हमारा मकसद था इस काम को करने में कि MDR से सब लोग डरते हमें नज़र आते हैं. आशाएं इसकी रिपोर्ट नहीं करना चाहती, ANMs इसके फिगर्स को छिपाना चाहते, हर अस्पताल के डॉक्टर जो है डेथ से पहले केस को भगाना चाहते हैं. There is a fear of reporting a maternal death. हमारा बहुत ज़्यादा इसमें कोशिश ये रहा, and all the friends who just stood up now, they have been working for the last 2.5 years to build a non-adversarial, non-fault finding understanding of why maternal death review is important. And इसमें उन्होंने अपने frontline workers, अपने health providers, district health managers सबको जोड़ा है ताकि जो health system की gaps है वो आइडेंटिफाइड हो और फ्यूचर में जो है करेक्टिव एक्शन लिया जा सके. सो इट्स रियली एन एफर्ट टू एंगेज विद द हेल्थ सिस्टम टू अंडरस्टैंड, स्टॉप बीइंग अफ्रेड ऑफ रिपोर्टिंग, एंड मेनी इंटरवेंशंस हैव बीन डन, जिसका डिटेल अभी हम नहीं बता रहे, बाद में बताएंगे. लास्ट एक कैविएट है, इन ऑल ऑफ दीज स्टोरीज, एंड ऑल द स्टोरीज आर देयर इन द बुक, द बायोमेडिकल कॉज ऑफ डेथ हैज नॉट बीन एस्टैब्लिश्ड. One, it's a conscious decision that we are not trying to replace clinical audit in any way. The second is we did not have the documentation. इन गरीब परिवारों के पास पेपर ट्रेल नहीं है, बहुत सारे लोगों के पास बेड टिकट्स नहीं है, कॉज ऑफ डेथ का कोई सर्टिफिकेट नहीं मिला, प्रिस्क्रिप्शंस नहीं है, रिसीट्स नहीं है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें नहीं है. सो इट वॉज इम्पॉसिबल एनी वे फॉर अस टू एस्टैब्लिश द बायोमेडिकल कॉज ऑफ डेथ. So the question that we had, we really set out to examine to what extent does the existing health system and the maternal health program design become effective in responding to complications in maternity, given the vulnerability, the special vulnerability of these marginalized social groups. यानी हमारी जो NRHM की जो पूरी डिज़ाइन JSY, JSS के तमाम चीज़ों की रही है, वो इस तरह के गरीब तबके के और वंचित और हाशिए में रहने वाले समुदाय के लिए किस हद तक ये इफेक्टिव होता है. So our findings in brief. So first is our scope. Where did the cases come from? So just very quickly to say these are 139 cases, and I'm giving you the distribution of the districts and the blocks and the time. So that is for your information that we worked with Mayurbhanj district in Odisha, Malda and Murshidabad in West Bengal, Godda in Jharkhand, and in Uttar Pradesh in Azamgarh, Banda and Mirzapur. And just of course, as you can make out from the names, these are areas with either a very high proportion of tribal women or Muslim women or Dalit and OBC from poorer sections of society. So I just want to give you two quick stories to just give you a flavor. There are 139 stories in this book, and I'm sure I can't wish you happy reading. It's not happy reading. But I still hope that some of you will read the stories. So two quick stories. One of a woman from Uttar Pradesh. She was pregnant, and when she had her labor pain, the ASHA worker was called and took her to the PHC, and then she was referred to the CHC, and she was waiting in the CHC, and she had very prolonged labor. At the end, finally, when she delivered, it turned out that it was a stillbirth, because the prolonged labor, I mean, the fetus had not survived. It was a stillbirth. It was a stillbirth, and after a stillbirth, the family was very depressed, and of course, there were no bribes and mithai for the providers who had helped with the birth. So the nurse told the woman, and she had a retained placenta, so she was still bleeding profusely. The nurse told the woman कि अब निकलो निकलो, labor room से निकलो, and pushed her out into the veranda of the hospital, and said कि अब यहीं रहो, and हम तुमको bed नहीं दे सकते हैं. And the family kept saying, but she's bleeding, she's bleeding. And the nurse kept saying, ab hum ja rahe hain sone. And she went off to sleep. And the family kept trying to call her. They sent people home to the village to bring more cloth because she was bleeding so much. She had, you know, all her clothes were soaked in the blood. And the ANM would not come. The family kept asking कि अगर आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते तो हमें refer का slip दे दीजिए. हम district hospital इनको ले जाते हैं. So the nurse said, आप कल सुबह तक इंतजार कीजिए, डॉक्टर आएंगे, उसके बाद डॉक्टर रेफरल स्लिप देंगे, हम नहीं कर सकते. And then finally, the next morning at 8 o'clock, when the doctor came, the woman was already dead. So this is one story from Uttar Pradesh. The second story is from a tribal area. I will not tell you which state it is from, but I just want to say what happened in this case. This was a woman who was a particularly vulnerable tribal group, a Malpahadia group. And she was coming into the hospital, and she became pregnant immediately after marriage, and she became pregnant repeatedly when her baby was a year old, and so then she had very closely spaced pregnancies. And then when her pregnancy was full term, she had labor pains. She called the ASHA worker, and they took the vehicle, the Mamta Vahan, to the hospital. It was raining heavily, so a 10-kilometer distance took them 2 hours to go, and then she reached. And when she reached there, they saw her in the hospital, and they said, oh, she's very, very weak, and of course she needs blood, and we don't have blood here, and she might need a C-section, so you should really go away from here and go to the district hospital. So the family did not understand what was said to them. They did not understand the cause of the referral, so they just waited there. So they waited one night, they waited another night, then nobody was giving them any treatment. They were not understanding what to do, so they took her home. When she went home, then after that, her amniotic fluid was already coming out, and she was becoming more and more weak. Then again, after 7 days, again they called the Mamta Vahan, again she came back. She came to a PHC first. The PHC looked at her and said, very complicated, CHC jao. She went back to that same CHC where she had gone earlier. They said, no, you're very complicated, you must immediately go to the district hospital. So when they took her to the district hospital, then they were still getting the Mamta Vahan. The district hospital said कि अब हम तुमको 1000 रुपए दे रहे हैं, तुम Mamta Vahan से उतरो, cross the state border and go to the medical college in the bordering state. So the family could not afford this. So they got off the ambulance, and of course 1000 rupees does not take any gadi across. Anybody who's done cross-border taxis know that you cannot use a taxi for 1000 rupees. So they came back home, and then they sold everything. And to bring her back, she could not walk, so they first put her on a bus. She could not even sit in the bus, so they took her off the bus. They put her on a cot, and then they walked 25 kilometers, and they brought her home, and then they sold their goats, and they had one cow. They sold everything. They collected 30,000 rupees. Then they took a private vehicle, and now they had to go the entire distance from their home to the medical college. So the vehicle asked for 6,000 rupees, and then they reached the vehicle. By the time they reached the medical college, they said, oh, she needs an ultrasound, maybe the baby is dead. By the time the ultrasound report came out, she was already gone. So these are just two stories to indicate the range of issues that come up when we are looking at women from these areas. And I'll be coming up with some more of these observations after this. So, So the first question that I just want to answer is, did the women try to reach a health facility or the health system either during labor or when they had a complication? So if you look at the figures which are given here, you'll find that in Odisha, in West Bengal, quite substantial numbers of the women actually tried to reach a facility, but a few of them died before reaching, and a few of them died at home before they could do this. In Malda, it was practically 100%, and so was it in Uttar Pradesh. Everyone tried to reach a facility. And in Jharkhand, 15 women, after developing complications, did try to reach a facility, but 5 of them died at home. What the point I'm trying to make here is that the women are not saying no to the health system. So जो हमारे देश में 10 साल पहले की बात थी, जिसमें कि ये सोचा जाता था कि JSY का लालच मिलेगा तो लोग अस्पताल आएंगे, वरना लोग घर ही में जो है जो करना है करके मर जाते हैं, वो बात नहीं है. आज के दिन कम से कम वो बात नहीं है, शायद उस समय भी नहीं थी. खैर, women are trying to access the health system. Either they are accessing it during labor, or as soon as they see a complication, they are trying to access. How do they actually die? What we are finding, of course, because hemorrhage is the biggest cause of maternal death, that most women here in all these stories died of heavy bleeding, either antepartum before birth, या फिर बच्चा पैदा होने के बाद heavy bleeding हुआ. लेकिन heavy bleeding को manage नहीं किया गया और blood transfusion में बहुत सारी दिक्कतें हुई. बहुत, जैसे अभी जो मैंने घटना बताई उसमें यही था कि CHC में, डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल में कहीं पर ब्लड ट्रांसफ्यूजन की सुविधा नहीं थी, तो उसे उन्होंने मेडिकल कॉलेज रेफर कर दिया, जिसमें कि उनकी मौत फाइनली हो गई. और भी ऐसे बहुत सारी घटनाएं हैं जिसमें रात भर वो परिवार वाले दौड़ रहे हैं महिला अस्पताल से जिला अस्पताल, क्योंकि वो ब्लड बैंक जो है वो पुरुषों वाले हॉस्पिटल में रहता है, महिलाओं वाले में नहीं रहता है. सो दे रन अप एंड डाउन, देयर इज नो कम्युनिकेशन, और फिर रात भर इधर उधर दौड़ रहे हैं, डोनर कौन है, पैसा कहाँ है, डॉक्टर कहाँ है, उस ब्लड बैंक का डॉक्टर कहाँ है, और इसमें जो डिलेज होते हैं फिर वो खत्म हो जाती हैं. कन्वल्शंस बहुत सारी महिलाओं में हमने देखा, वो बेहोश हो जा रही हैं, और ये जो चीज़ें हैं जो कि सिम्टम्स हो सकते हैं एक्लैम्शिया या प्री एक्लैम्शिया के, वो ट्रीटमेंट नहीं हो पाए. हालांकि ऑल द women came into hospitals, mostly with women who have convulsions, we just see delays. They are just kept in the hospital, no cesarean section, nothing. Sepsis is something we find कि 10-10 दिन हॉस्पिटल में ट्रीट होने के बावजूद उनकी सेप्सिस ठीक नहीं हुई, और सेप्सिस इंस्टीट्यूशनल डिलीवरी के बाद भी इतने भयंकर भी हुए हैं. अनसेफ अबॉर्शंस, इनके केसेस ऑफ कोर्स कम हैं बिकॉज कम पता चलते हैं, बट बिकॉज दिस वाज अ कम्युनिटी बेस्ड एक्टिविटी, वी डिड गेट टू नो ऑफ women who died of abortions even if they did not even come to the health facility. We still have those cases. And unsafe abortions are caused because women are having unwanted pregnancies. There are teenage pregnancies. There is a pregnancy of a woman who's 42 years old, doesn't want children. There is a pregnancy of someone who has had 8 children, doesn't want any more children. She's had unsafe abortions in the past. ऐसे बहुत हैं. Clearly, these pregnancies are not wanted, and then women just go into informal providers for these. We also find significantly among these groups the incidence of tuberculosis, malaria, jaundice, and some kind of chest pain with breathing difficulty. This is coming up a lot, and of course different localities में different symptoms हैं, but these I am flagging because they are non-obstetric causes of death. Then again, did the health system respond? इसमें हमने ये देखा है कि women had many high risk signs, और ये हमने antenatal care में देखा है कि बहुत सारे उनके ब्लड प्रेशर, उनका हाइट, उनका वेट, उनका एनीमिया, तमाम सारी चीज़ें हैं जो कि समहाउ ट्रैक नहीं हुए। वो एंटीनेटल और डिलीवरी के समय के बीच में कोई ट्रैकिंग नहीं रहा। वी ऑल्सो फाइंड दैट नॉर्मल डिलीवरी के लिए जब लोग हेल्थ फैसिलिटीज़ आ रहे हैं या फिर घर में नॉर्मल डिलीवरी हो रही है, समहाउ heavy bleeding is occurring immediately and sometimes women die within 2 hours. They die within 2 hours of institutional delivery, they die within 2 hours of home delivery. Actually इस डिलीवरी के दरमियान क्या किया जा रहा है उन औरतों के साथ, ये बहुत बड़ा एक सवाल है. Why is this happening? Blood, of course, as I have said, there's a huge issue with blood in terms of costs. Blood was available for varying amounts in the same district hospital. किसी के लिए 2000 का मिला, किसी के लिए 3000 का मिला, किसी के लिए 4000 का मिला. उसी सेम हॉस्पिटल में ब्लड की ये पेमेंट्स हैं, जबकि हमें स्टेट के मिशन डायरेक्टर ने बताया कि 400 रुपये से ज़्यादा हो ही नहीं सकता ब्लड, आप लोग झूठ बोल रहे हैं. Then we find that the JSSK was violated repeatedly. Women were made to pay informal fees. They had to buy medicines. They had to pay for everything. Many times the ambulances charged them money, etc. Referral transport. ये हम कहना चाहते हैं कि जो 108 की गाड़ी जो उनको गांव से हॉस्पिटल तक ला रही है, it is working. I would not say that it's not working. I would say at least 50 to 60% we are seeing that they inform the Asha calls the vehicle takes them to the hospital. So that is working. Where the problem is really coming up is inter-facility referral. अगर कोई औरत critical condition में है और doctors कह रहे हैं इनको ले जाओ, but there is no ambulance. And then, first of all, the family is running around trying to find a gadi. Then the gadi wala will ask for 3,000, which they don't have, because these are very poor people. So then they run around trying to get the money to pay the ambulance, to get the gadi, to go to the hospital. So it's an unsurmountable odds, and the kind of time that is used up in this unsupported referral, ये एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल है. And sometimes, as you noticed in the case that I said, उनको घर जाना पड़ा, बकरियां बेच करके, पैसे रेज करके, तब वो गाड़ी कर पाए, तब वो जा पाए, और it was of course by then too late. And then of course what I mentioned earlier, cesarean sections are very few in numbers. And I want to highlight this because we have done facility observation of district hospitals and subdivisional hospitals, जहाँ पे cesarean की पूरी व्यवस्था है और जहाँ पे records कह रहे हैं कि cesareans होते हैं. There are obstetricians and there is functioning blood transfusion system. क्यों इन औरतों के लिए with convulsions, why cesarean was not done, we don't know the answer, but it needs to be investigated. The routine inputs. NRHM का एक डिज़ाइन था जिसमें कि ये है कि NHM का कि VHND होगा, ANC मिलेगा, रजिस्ट्रेशन होगा, आशा वर्कर्स होंगी, MCTS उनको लाएगा, फैमिली प्लानिंग सर्विसेज होंगी. इसमें क्या हो रहा है? In the routine inputs, we find that the VHND is working best in Odisha, but in the other 3 states we have found that the location is so problematic that no proper checkups are possible over there, especially abdominal checkups के लिए तो privacy है ही नहीं. दूसरा ये हम देख रहे हैं कि ANC registration is excellent. It is more than 85% everywhere. So the women have made first contact with the health system. They are registered. They are on the records of the health system. उसके बाद कौन से दरार से वो गिर रहे हैं ये हमें पता नहीं चल रहा है, but they are falling through the cracks. Even though there is very good registration, the quality of antenatal care is very patchy, uneven. Beyond TT and iron folic acid, the rest of the checkups, the one which really can save the life of the woman, वो checkups बिल्कुल नहीं हो रहे. अगर हो रहे तो रिकॉर्ड नहीं हो रहे. कल ये बात हो रही थी कि जिनकी हीमोग्लोबिन 10 से कम है उनको एक्चुअली ANM नोट नहीं करती है, क्योंकि नोट करेगी तो ANM पे डांट पड़ेगी, तुमने इनको टैबलेट्स नहीं दिए थे क्या. So नोट ही नहीं होता है कि she is anemic, and that is how she has the MCT card. Asha workers, as we said, they are functioning, they are good, they are actually working, they are counseling, they are tracking. Even home deliveries we found Asha workers आ करके पूछ रही है कि तुम्हारी बहुत ज़्यादा bleeding हो रही, तुम चलो hospital, हम लेके जा रहे हैं. If there are teenage girls, they are picking up that there is something happening here. But one thing we were little worried, and that may be because their payments are irregular, they are also referring women into the private sector. और ये हमने खास तौर पे यूपी में देखा है. MCTS की बात हमने ऑलरेडी कह दिया है. MCTS रिकॉर्ड्स किए जाते हैं, बट इट्स नॉट अवेलेबल फॉर द डॉक्टर हु इज एक्चुअली गोइंग टू ट्रीट द वुमन. सो दे डोंट नो कि उसका क्या ऑब्स्टेट्रिक हिस्ट्री है, कितना उसका ब्लड प्रेशर रहा है, क्या उसका हेमोग्लोबिन है, कुछ नहीं पता. सो द डेटा इज एक्चुअली नॉट बीइंग शेयर्ड और ट्रांसफर्ड. एंड फाइनली, as we also work on reproductive rights, for us this is a matter of huge concern, and reproductive rights are essential and critical for maternal health. Family planning services, contraceptive information and services, and safe abortion services completely failed these women. We have women who have started childbearing from the age of 14. We have women who are childbearing every year. We have women who have conceived 4 months after an institutional delivery. And of course, she had a uterine rupture. But I'm just saying that these are cases. In the last 10 years, we have had all these programs for contraceptive counseling, all these inputs that the NHM is providing, but we failed these women completely. And unsafe abortions had to be recourse to for these women. So, does the JSY plus ASHA plus EMOC with JSSK equal maternal survival? So, for our study, this formula does not work. And it does not work when women are from socially marginalized groups, when they are engaged in hazardous and low paid occupations, खास तौर पे ऐसे इलाके में जो महिलाएं रहती हैं जहां आसानी से पहुंचा नहीं जा सकता है, जिन महिलाओं की शिक्षा भी कम है और इन सारे वजह से हेल्थ केयर तक उनकी पहुंच भी कम है. और ऐसी ही औरतों में हम देख रहे हैं कि उनकी बहुत ज़्यादा एनीमिया है, उनके बहुत सारे प्रेगनेंसीज हुए हैं, उनकी ऑब्स्टेट्रिक हिस्ट्री में मिसकैरेजेस या ऐसे एपिसोड्स हैं और उनके ही कॉम्प्लिकेशन ज़्यादा हमें दिख रहे हैं. और ये बहुत दुख की बात है कि इन लोगों के लिए जो पब्लिक हेल्थ सिस्टम्स हमने उपलब्ध कराए हैं वो इमरजेंसी रिस्पॉन्स में बहुत वीक हैं. कोई औरत ब्लीडिंग आई है, एंटीपार्टम ब्लीडिंग हो रहा है, आप उनको 8 घंटे ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं. प्राइमी ग्रेविडा इन लेबर 62 आवर्स इन लेबर. ऐसे हम देख रहे हैं. तो हाई रिस्क को लेकर के जो इमरजेंसी एक्शन है वो हमारी हेल्थ सिस्टम बिल्कुल नहीं रिस्पॉन्ड कर रही है. ये भी है कई जगह पे हमने देखा है, जैसे हमने बताया कि अंडर रिसोर्स्ड हेल्थ सिस्टम है, वहाँ पे नर्सेज बहुत टायर्ड हैं, थकी हैं, ओवरवर्कड हैं, डॉक्टर्स का सपोर्ट नहीं है शायद इस वजह से. और ये भी हमने देखा है जैसे कि वेस्ट बंगाल या उड़ीसा में कि देयर इज़ अ कल्चरल इंसेंसिटिविटी और या फिर कुछ कॉन्टेक्चुअल फैक्टर्स को हेल्थ सिस्टम मिस कर रही है. जैसे कोई औरत आई है, उसके 8 बच्चे थे, उसको इतना डांटा एएनसी के समय कि वो जब लेबर पेन हुआ शी कॉल्ड द डाई. शी सेड मुझे उस हॉस्पिटल में वापस नहीं जाना है, मुझे इतना अपमान किया उन लोगों ने, आई डोंट वांट टू गो बैक देयर. सो द कॉन्टेक्चुअल फैक्टर्स, द कल्चरल फैक्टर्स, द प्रैक्टिसेस, द बिलीव्स, द लाइफस्टाइल ऑफ दीज families is not something that the health system understands. And finally, we have to acknowledge that maternal deaths are happening. We are not counting, we are saying deaths are coming down. So we have our recommendations. Would I, Poonam, should I stop, give the recommendations after there's some response or before?
No, it may be a good idea to get the recommendations first,
Okay.
right? So that people aren't repeating. So then let's agree with those and not keep repeating the same recommendations where
So, हमारे टॉप 5 सजेशंस जो हमें लगता है कि बहुत जल्द ही करना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये ऑलरेडी देश के कुछ जगहों में होने लग गया है लेकिन सब जगह पे होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. पीपल मस्ट स्टॉप बीइंग अफ्रेड ऑफ आइडेंटिफाइंग हाई रिस्क. ये 10 से कम एनीमिया हम लिखेंगे नहीं, वो वाली बात को हमें बंद करनी चाहिए. हाई रिस्क के लिए हमें एक रेड फ्लैग उस मदर चाइल्ड कार्ड पे डालना बहुत ज़रूरी है ताकि पता चले शी इज़ अ हाई रिस्क केस. इन एरियाज वेयर देर आर दीज काइंड ऑफ पॉपुलेशंस जिनका लैंग्वेज अलग है, जिनकी शिक्षा कम है, वहाँ पे इमरजेंसी हेल्प डेस्क देना बहुत ज़रूरी है. खासतौर पे अगर उनको ब्लड के लिए भागा दौड़ी करना पड़ेगा या कोई दूसरे डॉक्टर को बुलाना पड़ेगा, जो भी करना है उसके लिए. तीसरा, इन हाई प्रायोरिटी डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स वी मस्ट डेवलप प्रोटोकॉल्स फॉर प्रॉम्प्ट एक्शन, जिससे कि एडवर्स आउटकम मैनेजमेंट, बहुत तुरंत रिस्पॉन्स जिसको कहते हैं, वो किया जा सके. फोर्थ, सारे FRUs में ब्लड स्टोरेज होना आवश्यक है. आई एम सॉरी डॉक्टर धवन बिकॉज यू आर न्यू इन द मिनिस्ट्री, बट वी हैव बीन सेइंग दिस सिंस 2009, राइट? That we need blood to save the lives of women, and we've said it and said it and said it and said it, and even now we don't have in these high priority districts one functioning center in every district where blood transfusion is available. And I'm sorry we sound so frustrated, it's not fair on you, लेकिन ये हमारी एक है बहुत लंबा संघर्ष इस पे चल रहा है. सब कहते हैं हाँ हो रहा है, हाँ हो रहा है, लेकिन 6 साल हो चुके हैं और इसमें कई और महिलाओं की मौतें हो गई हैं और कुछ और होंगी जितना हम लेट करते जाएंगे. दिस इज वेरी अर्जेंट. Referral transport, as I've said, needs to be free and it must have a technician or paramedic with it. And ये डॉक्टर्स में इतनी इंसानियत हो कि नेक्स्ट फैसिलिटी के डॉक्टर को एक फ़ोन घुमा दे और कह दे कि हम एक औरत को भेज रहे हैं जिसके फिट्स हो रहे हैं या जिसका हैवी ब्लीडिंग हो रहा है, जिसका हेमोग्लोबिन 6 है, तुम तैयार हो जाओ. जस्ट दैट फ़ोन कॉल आई थिंक इज़, मतलब इंसानियत से रेफरल हो, न कि बेरहमी से. एंड देन वी हैव 10 recommendations which are medium term. One is, of course, stepping up the use of the MCTS so that we can prepare for any adverse outcomes and prevent them. Skill training, we've talked about the nurses and what they are doing in the labor rooms. We need community-based trained attendants, whether ANMs or whatever, but कुछ तो चाहिए. Home delivery, अभी तो millions home delivery अभी भी हो रहे हैं, उनके लिए कोई नहीं है गाँव में, वो कैसे हों. We do need better health workforce allocation. Nurses नहीं है, case load इतना ज़्यादा है, nurses थकी हैं. We feel that for abortion services and other services, a gynecologist must visit all the peripheral hospitals at least twice a month, ताकि अगर किसी को abortion करानी हो तो उसी दिन पहुंच जाए और अपनी services ले सकें. Essential drugs are critical for maternal survival. Obviously, they are not there. And finally, not finally, but we feel that anemia needs something more than iron folic acid. We have been giving iron folic acid for how many decades? I think Shobha Ben and Dr. Pankaj can tell us. At least 4 decades we've been giving iron folic acid. Or anemia and hemorrhage are still our major killers. So we just need to make these iron sucrose available. अभी भी लोगों को पता है लेकिन नहीं देते हैं, तो हमें और करने की ज़रूरत है. And we need better feedback on the JSS के violations. User participation and transparency चाहिए इसमें. Private sector को लेके 2 districts में बहुत ज़्यादा देखने को मिला है the way that they are treating the women and also their exorbitant costs and irrational care. So there must be regulation and we need to look at informal providers inside the district settings. एक सवाल हमारा था जो हम पहले भी कह रहे थे कि एनुअल हेल्थ सर्वे जो MMR बता रहे हैं उतने डेथ्स की रिपोर्टें हमें नहीं दिखती हैं. Where are those deaths? Why are they not getting picked up? Who is supposed to pick them up? And have we realized that we are not picking up those deaths? And finally, the involvement of panchayats and take back service, a hearse service, which must be free for the bereaved families. So these are our 10 medium-term recommendations. We have some policy recommendations. We understand, of course, these cannot be done immediately, but we feel these are important. Community practices पे health system की समझ बढ़ाने की ज़रूरत है और हर ज़िले में वहाँ के सर्विस प्रोवाइडर्स अपने सर्विस प्रोविजन को थोड़ा उस हिसाब से एडजस्ट करें और इंश्योर करें कि ऐसे महिलाओं के साथ किस तरह से पेश आना चाहिए, उस पर उनके सारे टीम को जो है पता चले. हमें ये भी लगता है कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल और CHC के बीच बातचीत नहीं होती है. इन सम स्टेट्स हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर आर 2 सेपरेट डिपार्टमेंट्स और वो आपस में बात नहीं करते हैं. सो इसके लिए जो कम्युनिकेशन है वो कंटिन्यूअस नहीं हो पाता है. वी डू नीड टू बिल्ड अ कंटिन्यूम ऑफ केयर. कुछ हमारे ह्यूमन राइट्स पर्सपेक्टिव से रिकमेंडेशंस हैं. एक तो ये था कि अकाउंटेबिलिटी फिक्स करना बहुत ज़रूरी. अगर एक औरत किसी हॉस्पिटल में किसी प्रोवाइडर के हवाले अपने को कर रही है, उसके बाद हेल्थ सिस्टम उसको नकार नहीं सकती. उसके बाद उस हेल्थ सिस्टम की जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि उस औरत के जान बचाने के लिए जितनी भी कोशिशें करनी हो वो करे. एंड वी हैव अ वंडरफुल एग्जाम्पल फ्रॉम वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट where the doctor tried with that young patient for about 4 hours and realized that the doctor could not handle it. This was a CHC doctor, called the ambulance was delayed, but when the ambulance came, the doctor got into the ambulance with that patient and took her to the next facility and stayed there. We also have heard cases where the whole night the doctor is calling up the other person in the next facility and saying, "Us aurat ka kya hua?" So it's not that everybody is hardened. It's not that everybody is corrupt. There are doctors who are doing wonderful work. But we just need to fix accountability in case somebody is not. And we feel that compensation for women who tried to access healthcare but died should be considered in the long term. And finally, unbanked direct blood transfusion in case there's an emergency. So I will stop with this. These were preventable deaths. These were predictable deaths. That is why title is Chronicles of Deaths Foretold. But the thing is, do we care enough to make those changes That will save these women's lives. Thank you.